everybody. Hello and welcome as always. I am Sean. This is In The Mixer, episode 53 of our Pentagon challenge. Now, before we get stuck into this episode, if you haven't gone and watched the last episode, you must go and watch it. Otherwise, there's going to be huge spoilers, and I really want you to kind of go and see episode 52 because it was fantastic, and it's going to bring you up to date with where we're at in this episode as well. So go and do that now. I'll give you a hot second to do it. Excellent, fantastic. Now we're jumping back into the River Plate Challenge. Let's jump in and see how we've gone, what we've got planned for this episode, and what's coming up. All right, so first and foremost, if you look over on that, I went the wrong direction, but if you look over on that far side, sitting top of the table, 37 games played. River Plate are champions, 31 wins, 3 draws, 3 defeats, plus 79 goal difference and 96 points. Scorer stats, Jesus Moya, 65 goals in all competitions, absolutely ridiculous. Antonio Brutos, 7.68 average rating across all of that. Tonico, 26 assists playing on the left-hand side, just absolutely brilliant from those 3 players. Of course, if you didn't watch the last episode, it's hard to say now because we've got all these additional cups and everything, but we, of course, won the Copa Libertadores after extra time, a 3-2 victory over Flamengo in a game that really could have gone either way, I think. If we jump back in the competitions now, the Copa Libertadores has kind of continued. We've gone through the group stages in the second half of the year. South American Recopa, we also won. Supercopa Argentina, we also won. Copa Argentina, we're, of course, getting through after winning it last season. And we have now won the Premier Division as well. So we're just hauling in trophies at River Plate. But this is going to be our last game in charge. We've got one more final game this season against Patronato in the Premier Division itself. We're going to play that game. We're going to resign. And then we're going to start looking for our job in Europe. We do have, as we look here, the top 5 nations in Europe all loading in. So England, France, Germany, Italy, and Spain, they all come in around June and July. We will jump forward a little bit and have a look at what jobs might actually be available during that period towards the end of June. But in reality, we're probably, I think, going to be able to jump to one of the biggest clubs in the world. Like, hopefully that's what we're really actually hoping for. Well, we can get a big club in Europe, having jumped immediately from Argentina. That's really what I want. It'll be a shame if we have to do like a lower club and try and build them up over time, but we can get that done as well. But that looming spectre on the horizon, FM22 is getting closer and closer. I expect the beta in about 2.5 weeks, so we do want to try and get through this as quickly as we can. But before we do that, let's jump into this final game of the season. The quest to try and get 99 points, the quest to try and get 38 wins for this season. A whole bunch still to play for, so we are going to fire through relatively quickly. We've got pretty much a full string starting 11, which is great. We haven't had it that many times throughout the course of this season. I already mentioned Moya, Tonico, Britos. They've been excellent. George Oriol's been fantastic as well. Caro and Rojas, the wingbacks. I think that's really been the big difference for us this season, having the two of them playing as well as they have been in those inverted wingback roles. They just needed kind of 12 months to get up to date with the requirements of that role, and then the 3-3-3-1, like, it's been fantastic. I would use it again happily in Europe, but one of the things we've been doing is each different continent we change and kind of like stylize this a little bit differently. So I think we might find a way to do something similar to this, but something that's potentially like just a little bit more interesting or flamboyant or whatever else. One, we've got access to hopefully the best players in the world. But one last time, Suarez in goal, Medina, Mejia, and Garavano as the back 3. Ivan Carlos will anchor as the DLP at the base of midfield. Caro and Rojas as the wing-backs. Britos at the 10. Tonico as the inside forward on the left. Oriol as the inverted winger on the right. And Moya leading the line up top. It is a very talented group of players. We've managed to keep hold of them for the 2 seasons that we've been in South America. I think when we make the jump to Europe, some of these players might come with us, or potentially they're going to get picked up by other European sides. I just don't see them staying in South America much longer. And the other portion as well, I'm not sure if other people have had the same experiences in their time in South America. We are broke as shit. We lose so much money every year. We just get ourselves back up to like zero balance, and then we lose like another 40-50 million pounds throughout the course of a season. It's ridiculous. So I think they'll be looking to try and sell some of those players to get themselves back to a place where they've got a bit of cash. First highlight here is coming our way now. Moya with possession now, out to Tonico. Britos is there with him. He's kept going himself though. Reverse pass finds Moya. It's excellent counter-attacking football. 66th goal of the season for Moya, which is absolutely ridiculous. Yes, it's across 2 different versions and 2 different levels of the Copa Libertadores. Yes, there's a couple of like cup competitions that don't usually happen for other teams, but 66 goals is absolutely fantastic. For the Colombian wonder kid, or I think he's actually no longer a wonder kid. I think he's an explosive forward now because he's 21 years of age. Moya with the strike from distance from the set piece, and it's just tipped over there by Ariosa. Britos in possession now, tries to get a ball across, it's cleared away. Tonico, can he put the ball back in? Wide left area, goes to strike himself. And we're looking pretty comfortable at the moment. Opening 10 minutes or so, we've been all over them, 3 or 4 highlights already. Long ball forward. Carlos wins it back. Moya sends it out to the right-hand side. Rojas has stepped in. Now Oriol, wide right, can beat a man. Moya to Caro, back to Moya again. That was an excellent, excellent opportunity. Maybe we should have done better. They've given it straight back to us though. Caro now. Tonico, reverse pass to Moya. That time he finds a finish. I think it's going to get ruled out for offside. Good little play though. Lovely like one touch into passing there between Tonico and Moya and a few other players. Goal disallowed. All right, fair enough. So nothing to really complain about there. We're going to throw the league table in. We are up on 99 points. There's no one that can get anywhere near anything. And to be fair, going into the last day, most of the league positions are decided. There are a couple of different spots for the Libertadores that are open. Oriol had a great strike there and they managed to scramble it away. Corner again here, Britos towards near post. It's cleared. Tonico, edge of the area. Can he find the finish? It's a wild strike. Not the best effort from the Brazilian. And throw a demand more shout in there. And everyone's responded positively, which is great. I thought about resigning until the end of the season, but I don't know what date that takes effect. And also, I kind of like just finishing off the season and then resigning. It's the first time we've really done it. Usually we resign the day after the Copa or the European Cup or the Continental Cup win. Halftime, I'm just going to tell everyone it's a great opportunity to show everyone, or the pundits, that they're right to back you up, and everyone's responded positively. Patronato haven't had a shot yet, which pretty much sets them up, guarantees them to get a goal at some point. Britos, backstick ball towards Mejia. It's a lovely headed ball home. Third goal of the season for him. And an excellent, excellent weighted free kick here from Britos, who I think is another player that he'll definitely get picked up by another club. And depending on who we take over and how much money we've got, maybe that's the sort of player that we come back in for and try and bring across to Europe with us. Vega, wide right. Oh, it's a good header. Just back off the crossbar. Suarez was there, but I don't think he got the save on it. And we do manage to scramble it away. We're through the hour mark, so we're going to hit pause. And let's make these subs head over heart, as we always do. Even Carlos is going to stay out there because I don't have a backup DM on the pitch. Acosta's going to come on for Tonico. Alvarez is going to come on for Jesus Moya. And then Brutos is going to have a little bit of a spell with Facundo Alvarez coming on as the enganche in that number 10 position. And we're just going to go demand more. 30 minutes remaining. They have had that one shot and it was on target now. So we want those subs to come on, give us some fresh legs and potentially get us a couple more goals before the match finishes. Rojas to Alvarez here. Back to Ivan Carlos, wide right area. Can he get a ball back across? Tries to force a ball that probably wasn't there. Now Giacinti will come back the other way for Patronato. Alvarez is there with him. Good header away by Garavano. Now Oriol can come in the opposite direction. He's got bodies left and right. What can he do from the wide area? Beats one, goes to drive himself. Ariosa with a good save and holds. Long ball forward. The highlight continues again. Caro now out to Acosta, just fresh off the bench. He's gone down. He's just outside the box. But as with every episode we do at the moment, we're going to have to sit through this animation of the referee running over to the tiny screen, and then he's going to run back out and he's going to pause for a second for dramatic effect and tell us that it's not a penalty. So again, Football Manager, just make that an option. If you want to have it in the game, fine, but let me have the ability to kind of like turn it off or speed it up or something like that, because it happens every match and it drives me insane. Into the last 10 minutes now though. Deep free kick here for Patronato. Acosta with a good press. Alvarez for them with a long ball forward. There's about 12 Alvarez's on the pitch at the moment. Oriol, flick on header. It's not the greatest effort. Back to Ariosa. Long one forward. Garavano should bring it down pretty comfortably. Now Ivan Carlos out to Acosta. Wide left area. What can he do? Goes to strike himself. And Ariosa with a good save puts it behind for the corner kick. Alvarez in possession. Good ball towards back stick. Nearly finds Elias Alvarez, one of the 12. Long ball forward should be recovered by Rojas. Is there a last highlight here? Good split to pay there from Mejia, and the highlight just comes to an end right as it looked like it was getting interesting. 3 additional minutes to be added on, which we're through now, and the referee calls full time. It's an excellent performance from the lads, and it is definitely a worthy win to resign on. You know what I mean. You can see here, River, Hammer, Patronato, Mejia actually gets the man of the match award with his goal. A few player fitness concerns, but the season's over effectively. They can rest and relax as much as they want. Flamengo boss Eduardo Vargas, who is the Chilean midfielder who briefly had time at like QPR, if you remember back in the day. He's been with them a few years, and he's not a bad manager, to be fair. He actually retired at Atletico Mineiro in 2026, so he would have been fairly old. And then since 2033, he's been the Flamengo manager, so he's doing a decent job in that 9-year career. 141 caps, that's ridiculous. But nothing really left for us to do other than just resign. And it's with a heavy heart that we do that. I have set them up. I probably should have shown you guys before I jumped out of that, but I think they've got players coming in. So this Franco Gerardo guy, Nestor Rioja, Juan Cruz, Dio Video, they've got some wonder kid talent that I've kind of signed to set them up so that they've got players coming in into the future. Immediately, the favourites to take over are Christian Ribas from Nacional, Gabriel Arias from Toleras, and Lautaro Guidetti from Vélez Sarsfield. So what we're going to do now is we're going to holiday to the 1st, I think, of July, and we're going to see what leagues have loaded in at that point. It is a full month, but at the moment, if we go and have a look at the job centre, the only jobs that are coming up are effectively South American jobs, and we've kind of done that portion. So magic editing, we're going to jump forward a little bit now. All right, so welcome back. We have jumped forward to the 10th of July because that was the date that the Spanish leagues effectively got added. So now all 5 European nations are in, which is great. Weekly job updates aren't super interesting. So Niko Kovac, who was, I think at the start of the game, it says that's looked like the Monaco logo on the face, but it doesn't actually say where he managed. I think this is his, here we go, staff history. This is the one that we want. So yeah, he was Monaco manager at the start of the game, PSG, Man City, Liverpool. So he stood down. Oh no, he retired entirely. So some of the players linked to Marcelo Gallardo, Kylian Mbappe, Gennaro Gattuso. That one's interesting. It's pretty much the only job available. And interestingly, Marcelo Gallardo, who we followed into the River job, or was a River legend, who was coaching the Argentine national side, then Barcelona, then Man City, he's heavily linked with it. I don't love Liverpool, but what's their squad like? They got some good players. They've got a few elite players, some fullbacks, which we wouldn't really use. Attacking fullback is their highest valued player, defensive midfielder. Why have they got so many fullbacks? A few world-class players as well. Who's this guy? M. Zidane. Mohamed El Amin Zidane. Frenchman with 200-odd appearances. So they've got some really, really good players. This guy, Walker, 27-year-old Brazilian, elite striker, looks very, very good. Man City won the Premier League last season. Before that, Man United, Man City, Man United, Man City, Man United. Then Man City were dominant for a very long time. Liverpool last win in 2026-27. So Man City have been the biggest club in that region. It is the only job available. Let's apply for it because why not? Okay, they've immediately told me that it's finished, the interview process, so I can't get that one. Oh, this is going to be one of those challenges. You know what? I think we're going to jump forward again. Let's go to the 1st of August and let's see what jobs would potentially come up. And I probably will sit down because this might take a while. All right, so jumping forward to the 1st of August, the Reds hired Marcelo Gallardo, which is challenging. £160,000 per week he's going to get for them, which is crazy. There's a Spezia job in Italy. I don't think we want to take that one. No disrespect to any Spezia fans. I like their logo, that's cool, but I think we can aim a little bit higher, to be completely honest. As far as the job centre is concerned, there's not that much out there. There are a few international jobs. Argentina jobs come up. Peru, Spain under-19s, all that sort of stuff, but I just don't necessarily think that's the right option for us. So let's jump forward, 1st of September. Let's see what happens. I think that means we'd be taking over a team mid-season now, which may be a challenge, but we'll see how we go. Alrighty, jumping forward again. We've jumped forward to October because there just wasn't anything available in September. The Spezia job is still available. I think they're about to sign someone. Lannis in Argentina's come up, but the top 5, I want a big club. That's basically what I want. Or I want a club that's kind of down on its luck maybe a little bit and that we can take into Europe now that we're past the start of a season. We'll jump forward to November. If there aren't any jobs, we'll jump forward to the start of December and have a look at who's insecure and what other jobs may potentially be coming up in the next couple of weeks. We'll keep an eye on. But yeah, I'm getting deja vu to the early years in China where we just couldn't get employed for ages and ages. Hopefully this isn't going to be like that. We can pick ourselves up a tidy team to apply for. All right, welcome back. It's December 1st. Nothing came up in November. Well, that's a lie. The Napoli job came up in November and then John Stones got it out of nowhere, which was annoying. Very quickly too. We were on holiday all the way through it. So he interviewed and then got the job just ridiculously fast. The Spezia job is still available. I think it's glitched out or something though. It's really, yeah, that one's really interesting. Genoa, Aston Villa, Real Hispalis, Real Betis of course, Valencia, Southampton, Wolves. They're all kind of in insecure status. Bologna and Hoffenheim in there as well. River Plate, interestingly, insecure. Lille, another one. Rennes, decent as well. So there's a couple of jobs that are starting to come up. Villa would be fascinating because they've won the Champions League in their history. It'd be cool to kind of bring them back to it. They have been relegated a couple of times though. So they were relegated first in 2029, came straight back up. Again in 2033, came straight back up. Again in 2035, came straight back up. Again in 2037, came straight back up. And then the last couple of seasons, they've done okay staying in the divisions. But their team isn't super strong, to be completely transparent. So that could be interesting, trying to take them back to the glory days of the 1980s. But at the moment, yeah, no real jobs. We'll jump forward to the 1st of January and we'll have a look at how everyone's travelling. All right, so just like that, we're at the 1st of February. We're probably going to pivot moving forward, I think, and do jumping forward every 2 weeks. There wasn't anything at the start of January to start with, but then at the same time, we're jumping forward a month at a time, which jobs are coming up and they're getting fulfilled, which I don't think there were any that I really would have wanted, but we just kind of want to give ourselves that opportunity to start applying for jobs before the episode finishes. So we'll probably start doing maybe 2-week holidays forward to see what jobs come up. At the moment, it's only Cologne and Bologna. I'm not super interested in either because they're both kind of sitting down towards the bottom of their leagues. So what we might do is, instead of doing these regular updates, we're just going to jump back in if there's a job that comes up that we're interested in and that we want to apply for. Otherwise, we'll get to the end of the season, and then hopefully once, final league positions are locked in, some of those bigger jobs might come up. They might not be teams that have qualified for Europe, but it'll at least give us kind of an avenue to getting interviews. That's the hope anyway. We'll see if that's how it plays out, but let's kind of change the way that we're jumping forward a little bit. All right, so a couple of jobs have finally come up. We're at the 7th of March, and I've now jumped forward like a week at a time just to try and open things up. It's the Tottenham job, the Hoffenheim job, and the Borussia Mönchengladbach job. I've just applied for the Tottenham one. Their squad's okay. It's nothing fantastic, but they should definitely be doing better than what they are. They're currently down in 11th spot. Still got a positive goal difference. Still got a couple of players in the England setup, so they're obviously not terrible. Leicester have got quite a few players. That's an interesting one, but it's an intriguing job, and I think I'm just getting to that point where we might even have to take a second-tier job in a particular nation to then make a jump to a bigger team. The other ones that have come up are Hoffenheim, who aren't terrible, but I wouldn't say are probably on the same tier. If we look at their history, they've had mostly bottom half finishes, but then the last couple of seasons they've been building a 9th place finish, a 7th place finish, a 6th place finish. But they're on 29 points, so they're still a little while away from getting any European football to speak of, and I don't think they'll catch Wolfsburg on 42 points. And the other team is Mönchengladbach, who are 1 position and 1 win ahead of them. And their team's okay as well. They've got a couple of players that are wanted, funnily enough, by Tottenham, which is interesting. It says their finances are okay, $975k per week in superb training facilities. Tottenham has state-of-the-art and are very rich, so that makes the job a little bit easier. Mönchengladbach, insecure, $1.3 million on the wage budget, great training facilities. I'm going to ignore the Mönchengladbach job. Let's see how these two go and if we get any invites or interviews for either of them. Here we go. Same time the Monaco jobs come up, which is an interesting one. They're rich, 1.5 million wage budget and excellent training facilities. Let's apply for it. Why not? The Real Betis job has just come up, but we've got a chance for a job interview at Tottenham. So let's go and have a chat with them and see what they think. Okay, Tottenham job interview was pretty straightforward. I didn't go through the responses because you guys kind of know them at this point. We've been doing it for ever and ever in this series. The interesting one is that I said I'd start the job at the end of the season rather than close out the rest of this year, which I think could give us a full off season to kind of go through and see exactly who we want to bring in and exactly who would be well suited to actually jumping into that side and into that squad. Interestingly, and I didn't pick up on it immediately, they signed George Magia as well. He's only played 25 times for them, but he's already made the jump from River to Tottenham. Potentially we would follow him along as well. Hoffenheim have offered a job. I'm going to decline that one. It will either take the Tottenham job or hopefully, I think the Monaco job would be fascinating as well. Okay, Flager's taken charge at Mönchengladbach. That's fine. I don't think we wanted that job anyway. I've been offered the role taking over from ex-manager Eric Garcia. That's crazy. I'm going to delay it. Yeah, let's delay it for 1 week. Let's just see if Monaco come back with a job interview. And if they don't by the time that week passes, we might be announcing ourselves as the Tottenham manager at the end of the season. That would be fascinating. The Augsburg job has come up in the Bundesliga, but we'll leave that one for the moment. I just really want to see if Monaco have offered a job interview. They've got good youth, good training. The squad's okay without being super spectacular. All right, let's attend this interview. Okay, that went relatively well also. So let's just see. If Monaco offer the job, we could be in a fascinating scenario where we've got to pick between AS Monaco and Tottenham. And if we do that, maybe I'll leave it up to you guys. We'll see if they actually offer the position. Okay, all right. So Monaco have offered the job, which is very, very interesting. They've offered me a 2-year contract, 27.5k a week to take the job at the Stade Louis Stadium. Promises are no club job applications that I'll make to other clubs, acceptable managerial support, and keep director of football in place. What did Tottenham offer? I can't remember. It was more. It was 64k a week. All right, what do we do now? Which job do we take, and which job seems the more appropriate? What's going on in France at the moment? PSG is still dominant. They're still the big club, but it wouldn't be that tough, I think, for Monaco to still get some version of European football this season. If you look at the past winners, PSG, they've won every season. That is absolutely ridiculous. 25 straight seasons. Absolutely ridiculous. Monaco finished in 3rd place last season. Monaco were also the last team to beat them in a league title. I think that's interesting. Trying to knock PSG off their pedestal and trying to really get them to that level. Or do we take a Tottenham side that hasn't really done anything spectacular in years? They've been 6th place the majority of the season since the database and the save started, and they've never been higher than 4th. They've never been lower than 7th. It's commendable consistency, but like they really should have won something in that period. They did win the Euro Cup in 2041, so they've got at least some trophy, but otherwise they just haven't won anything quite some time. But they've got better cash, they've got better facilities, they've got a good stadium, so their infrastructure piece is probably a little bit further along than Monaco's is. I'm genuinely torn. I don't know what to do. So, on that note, I'm going to hand it over to you guys. Would you rather see the Tottenham job be our next step, or would you rather see the Monaco job be our next step? I'm going to put this episode up on Sunday evening local time at about 6 p.m. I might even put a poll up on Twitter to see where we kind of finish up, because I'd assume this will be the last job that we take in this challenge to really try and push them to try and get a Champions League title to finish it off, unless someone big comes in. Like maybe we do well at Monaco and PSG comes in. Maybe we do well at Tottenham and someone like Man City, Man United comes in. It's very, very interesting, but I'm going to leave it up to you guys to decide. Comment down below whichever team you think I should be taking, or which team you'd rather see me kind of try and go forward with for the last couple of weeks at FM21. And yeah, we'll go from there. I'll give everyone about like 24, 48 hours to try and put that together, because we do want to try and get some more episodes up this week. But let me know in the comment section below what you guys think. Also, drop a like on this video. Help us celebrate getting to the final continent that we're going to try and beat before the FM21 cycle comes to an end. Subscribe to the channel, of course, if you haven't already. But more than anything, as always, I just appreciate you guys watching. As always, I've been Sean, and I'll see you all again in the mixer.